Hey, yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it as always. Loaded into mines here, and I am a bottom tier in a 357 in my Rev. The word I won't even try, a tier 8 premium French medium tank with a pretty good gun on a basically Sherman body. And I have spawned in the south. You ever been into a game where your team lost the initial deployment battle? I think you can see what's coming here on mines when I say that. Where your team goes down quite a few tanks, you're bottom tier, you're in a medium, you're in a bad spot, it looks like your team is cornered and stuffed, and it just isn't going well. Well, what do? Well, two things. Number one is patience, and number two is keep calm, keep your head on. Don't freak out, don't give up. Do I sometimes not keep calm, freak out, or just drive out and get my damage and die? Sometimes, I have to admit, sometimes. But you'll be amazed at your results if you try to avoid that at all costs. Have some patience. Work what you've got. Keep your head about you, and good things might happen. So let's take a look at what happens on mines. You can see that we've got some tanks attempting to get up to the hill, and as a general rule, winning the hill on mines will win the game, provided you can keep it. Foreshadowing. Indian Panzer comes up. All right, we got some guys. Looks like a 140's got bias. And I pop that guy. All right, good start. Oh, what on earth is a foe shooting up there? Well, good on him, man. A Casemate TD, I'll spit it out in a minute. Easy for me to say. Has actually moved up to the hill. Now, I want you to look at, this is kind of a side note, take a look at how the teams are set up and tell me why, or think about why. You can't tell me. But think about why the Foch is up there. Why would he make that decision? We'll let it go for a minute. I'll let you stew on that while I work carefully on these guys. Here he comes. Oh, I'm getting bumped, and I'm not quite getting the aim I want. There's a lot of us stacked up here. Going back to the Foch, more than likely he saw that there was no artillery, and he knew he could get up there and do some pretty good work with his casemate. That's actually not a bad spot for a Foch. Minus his weak spots. Alright, so we're stuffed, right? What has happened here? You can see our entire team is stuck behind the hill. They've got the hill, they've got the ramp, they're up on top of the hill. There's nobody over here, so they're pushing through on our left. They've come around to the right side. We don't have anyone up there to keep these guys honest. This does not look good. Not at all. And right now I'm thinking while I'm playing, well, we're kind of boned. I bounce that. I take another hit from the object. I'm just trying to get some damage, and I'm trying to stay calm. So at this point, really, I need the enemy to make a little bit of a mistake. I need a little bit of luck, and I need to try to avoid getting killed. So there's a little bit of luck, actually being able to snipe that top hatch. Put some damage on him. There's the 140. He gets hammered by the E75. He's doing some pretty good hold-down action right there. Oh, there goes our Indian Panzer. I'll take his spot so I can get out of the way of the E75, the T10, and the rest of the guys back there. I'm just looking for an opportunity to get in there on this guy. Let's see what I can do. Nope, I pop him in the turret. That doesn't help. Almost got the 140. Somebody's shooting HE at him. This is an ill-advised poke on the Foch here in just a minute. He ends up hammering me, but I get one on him. So I've traded a lot of hit points for 1,100, right? I've basically traded a little bit more of my hit points to get the same amount of their hit points. And look at the team. Where are we? We have lost 5 tanks. We are down 5-0. We own 1/4 of the map, and we're stuffed at this corner. This is probably an auto loss in nearly anybody's book. But, oh, what's this? Somebody has finally decided to use his tank for what it's for. Unfortunately, I'm shooting heat, and I put heat into tracks, and it's angled. That was not good. I wish I had switched over to AP to make that happen. But I see an opportunity, right? I remained calm. I stayed alive, barely. Look out, E75. Sorry, brother. I didn't want to get pushed out into the line of fire. This sucks. No, don't hit me. Oh my gosh, I can't get away from this E75. I'm a little bit in his way. He's being a little bit of a D-bag, but there you go. And I thought about turning around at this point, thinking, well, I need to shore up this back end here. Man, we're really starting to lose now. We just lost another guy. We barely got one of them out. Now I got the T10. He's ramming me. I don't know what his deal is. Looks like the E-75 is getting hit from the other side, so it's time to follow this Type 5 up the hill. We don't really have much else going on. Foch runs off. Type 5's coming. Oh boy, can we get this guy? Snap one off. He nukes him. And we're finally able to get up the hill. And look at this. We're losing by even more. There's a Tiger 2. Holy cow. Oh, goodness. You missed. Take a shot on him. And down he goes. Now, I use that Type 5. I'm not afraid to admit as a bit of armor right there. And now we have the hill. Well, interesting. Things are starting to look up. Remained calm. At least I was able to stay alive. I didn't do an amazing job of not losing hit points while trading, but I did get some damage out, and I am now up on the hill, and I'm a little bit ahead on damage. So let's see what we can do at the hill. This tank has really good gun depression, so we'll put another 422 on him. A high roll, that's outstanding. I'll take it. Checking the T-32. I expect him to do something, maybe come up around there. I'm a little bit worried he might have a TD friend trying to come up, but the JPZ is way over there. And a bunch of their heavies are right here. Had their heavies just pushed into our guys stacked up there, this game would have been over a while ago. But they want to sit there and play peekaboo. Maybe I can put it... Oh, no, not into the side. And I get spotted. What's that T-32 doing? Not spotted, so that's what I'm doing. Checking 6. That's something you knew. Camera work, right? I'm waiting for my reload. Where is he? There he is. I was really hoping that bloody E-75 would go deal with this guy, but he's pussyfooting around with him. And the 110E5 is still hanging out behind. Let's see if we can get a side shot into this guy this time. Let's see. This should be a pin right here. No, no pin. It's a pretty good angle. I might have actually hit the front of his tank. All right, E75, you got him, right? Do it. No. E75 is not doing it. So I figure, you know what? Send a boy to do a man's job. Do I have to do everything around here? Let's go get rid of him. I'll tuck up right here. I don't know what's looking at me as far as the JPZ or the 5100. I probably didn't wait long enough right there, actually. Had they just fired into that general open area, they might have hit me. And I'm back over here to deal with the 110E5. And holy macaroni, look what's going on. We've evened this thing up. And we've actually got an advantage on them based on where they are. I don't know where that went. Whether I hit the wall or just bounced off of the turret or hit the tracks, don't know. I'm not interested in sitting there for too long. Do it and nothing again. I don't know if he's angling really well and getting, or if he's just getting super lucky. I'm not sure. Or maybe I'm just rushing bad shots. Probably a combination of all of those. Well, now we're ahead. Now remember what I talked about at the beginning, that in general, that's ridiculous, I bounce. That in general, if you get the hill, you win. And then I had a caveat at the end of it, right? I said, and can keep it. Well, here's a great example of them not being able to keep it, and we're able then to turn this thing around. There is no way we should have ever turned this thing around, but we end up doing it. Got the JPZ out there. The 5100 is going to die here momentarily. I'm just going to speed this thing up for you. As I babble towards the end of this thing, there's just the JPZ hanging out over there in the corner. So what do? Your initial deployment lost. You got stuffed. You're down 5 tanks to nothing. YOLO out, get some damage, get depressed, drive off a cliff, go into the water. Those are all options. What I recommend, though, and sometimes it ends up working, is keep your head about you, remain calm, and keep working on it. And then you will sometimes come to this result. Am I claiming that every time I get down 5 to 10 tanks, or 5 to 15 tanks, however you want to call it, I lose 5 tanks and they've lost none? Am I claiming I can bring those back every time? No, of course not. But the better you are, and the more you apply good tactics and gameplay to this game, the more of those you will bring back. And if you're talking, out of every 10 games, the difference between a 60% player and a 40% player is 2 games. Which is quite significant, actually, but doesn't necessarily sound like it when you say it. But if you're claiming that the difference are those 2 games, then the next question is, if you believe skill matters, and I happen to, because it does, the question then is, what are the things that make those 2 games swing in the 60% player's direction? And I'm telling you, it's this kind of thing. The more you can do this kind of thing. All right, I hope you like what you heard. If you did and you learned something, make sure you subscribe. If you have subscribed, leave a comment. Tell me how bad I am or how good I am or whatever. If you've got something you would like me to see, I can either do replay analysis or a nice replay, a good replay for replay of the week. Feel free to send it in. And as always, we will see you.